regarding returning to Coronation Street, obviously I'd be open to that. I would love to go back because it would be like going home. I know all the characters, I know all the people behind the camera, and because of Coronation Street for the last 12 years I've been cast in some amazing productions. The Commitments is an amazing show. I don't know, it doesn't really matter if you've never heard of Roddy Doyle, you've never heard of The Commitments, you've never heard of the Barry Town trilogy, that doesn't matter. You can come in and see this show, which is basically a snapshot in time of a group of kids, this time set in Dublin, but it could be set in any inner city around the world, who do something extraordinary. And for a small moment in time, these kids put a band together, a soul band together, which is extraordinary and professional and quite brilliant and heartwarming. But what I really love about the show is there are no happy endings. It's very gritty and it all falls apart like many bands do throughout the ages. But I can guarantee you'll come out feeling elated and happy. Playing Dar is Jimmy's dad. He's work-wise, it's not particularly taxing. He's that particular character who sits there and listens and then comes out with one-liners which bring the house down. What drew me into it was that it's Roddy Doyle who wrote it, the author. He said, look, it's not the biggest of roles, but it's the best of lines. But he's there, he's constant, he's a constant character throughout all the action. And his story arc is he's not that happy with his son putting this band together. He thinks it's a waste of time because there's nothing. He works in a sweet factory, his son. He thinks that you've got to stick with the sweet factory. You know, you can't have dreams. You can't have dreams in this day and age, you know, because it'll just all end in disaster. So in his way, he's trying to protect his son. Slowly, he gets drawn in, and he realizes that this band actually is quite good. And he's drawn in, and he's still very protective, although he takes the mickey out of his son all the time. And at the end, he's still there for his son and says, look, it's going to be all right. So he's a constant.
How much is this art imitating life? I mean, what's your background? What were your support like with your parents?
Oh, well, funnily enough, my Commitment story is very similar to my own rock and roll stories, if you will. Myself and a certain very famous guitarist played in a folk mass, and the trade-off for that was the priest gave us the hall to rehearse our rock and roll band, which is a direct lift basically from, or not lift, but it's what happened in the Commitments. And that's what we did. So my background musically is very much alike to the story. Parents-wise, they always supported me and my sister in what we did. My sister's more on the medical side, but they were very supportive. They came. I mean, I've dragged them when I was 16, 17. Well, I dragged them to some terrible things, but they were still there.
And of course, this is set in Dublin. But just remind us where you're from, and how similar or dissimilar it was to life in Dublin.
Well, in '85, where the Commitments is set. I came from Manchester. I come from Manchester, which was in that time in '80s was very similar to the story. There wasn't much happening. We were in a bit of a mess financially. The whole country was not brilliant. But having said that, we just had the punk revolution in '76. And what was amazing about that, and what's amazing about the Commitments, is that you could dream. You could go off and be a sculptor, you could be a punk poet, you could write plays, you could form a band, you could write poetry, you could do what you want. So there was that element to it. But my background was pretty similar to the Commitments.
We only hear your voice, unfortunately, on maybe one song in the entire production. What a great voice, and I know that you've had your own band and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you still get out there performing, singing? Have you still got your band? Is that something you're looking to do again?
Well, I love music and I love playing. I sit in with a lot of bands now because just to get that into my system, get it out of my system, to play a bit. I've not really done any band music for a while. Maybe I will in the future. But I've been very heavily involved in We Will Rock You. So I've been doing that all over the world, and I get to play with a full rock band every night and sing with a full rock band.
What super talents as well! And do you jam with them in your spare time? Do you do that?
Yes, I do. We all of the cast play 2-3 instruments each, and we do have a bit of a jam now and again. We tend to sort of stay on the Irish side of things, a bit of Thin Lizzy, which is obviously for me a joy, and they all know it.
Bit of whiskey in the jar.
Well, that's it. They're because they're all born in Dublin. They know, Thin Lizzy stuff. Lino.
Would you take this lot on tour as a band after the show?
Well, the beauty of this cast, as I say, is they're so talented. They can pick up any instrument and play it. They would be great to take on tour, because you wouldn't have to work hard, because you just say, here, play this, and they can play it.
Can I book you for weddings and bar mitzvahs?
Absolutely, you can book us for anything you want, if the price is right, of course.
And of course, your dream for stardom really came true with Coronation Street, didn't it? How many years ago is it since you did that? And do you still get shout outs from people in the street?
I left Coronation Street 12 years ago, and yes, I still get stopped in the street, and I find that a very humbling experience. There's not many actors who can walk around saying the general public remember what I did 12 years ago, and I find it most of the time is that it's something that happened to them in their life at the same time that one of my storylines was running. So the conversation usually goes, I remember you when you were with Raquel because I was getting married, or I was on holiday, but it's always a positive memory. And I think that's a humbling experience, because I'm so involved in a calendar date in their lives. Coronation Street for me was definitely a blessing. Because I enjoyed it. It was a very formative time of my life. I learned an awful lot. I learned not just about the acting skills. I learned all about camera and how TV worked and how press worked, and because of Coronation Street for the last 12 years I've been cast in some amazing productions. So it's absolute blessing, very fond memories. I'm very proud of the stories that I was involved in. I'm very proud of Coronation Street, not only then but now. I'm very proud to be associated with such a brilliant show.
Do you still watch it?
Unfortunately, I can't get to watch it because A, 7:30 I'm on stage, B, I'm on tour, so I don't have that recording facility, although I could catch up on things, but I like to tape stuff off.
I still tape things as well.
Yeah, like HBO and all that stuff. I'm mad for those kind of box sets.
We don't Sky Plus things. Our generation still tape.
Oh, we still tape things. Yeah, we don't Sky Plus it. No, I tape it.
Yeah.
Even though you're using Sky Plus. Yeah. So no, I don't watch it. But having said that, my wife keeps me informed daily.
But in terms of jobs, they don't get much better than The Commitments, do they?
The Commitments as a job, for me personally, is great fun. I get to tour, which I enjoy, because you go to places that you would normally go to, and that's always a surprise. You find things on tour that that not many people know about, and that's good. This cast are very young, very vibrant, very lively, very talented, so they keep me going. My job on stage is again a joy, because while everyone else is running around and performing and being brilliant, my character just sits there and comes out with classic one-liners. And when Roddy Doyle said, I'm going to write some extra stuff for you, that is not kind of an offer that you can say, no, I don't fancy that, Roddy. I mean, he's a genius, and he can't write fast enough for me. So that was a big carrot.
But here and The Commitments, we've had We Will Rock You, these big musicals, big arena shows and things now. I mean, what other musicals on the agenda? Are there any roles particularly you'd like to do, or anything coming up?
I don't really know what's going to happen next. I'm in this till May. When you get to my age, though, jobs become geographically more important. I wouldn't mind working back in the West End. I wouldn't mind have a go at maybe Les Mis or something like that. A bit of classical, just to add to this CV, you know. Although I have done some classical stuff, but I wouldn't mind doing that. Maybe Wicked, who knows?
All right, well, Kevin, listen, it's been a real pleasure as always speaking to you. Can't wait to see you on tour throughout the UK, not least of all. I know you're going to be playing Sheffield, you're going to be playing Leeds, you're going to be playing York, you're going to be at a theatre near you.
All those good places, all those good places, all places in Yorkshire you can't go wrong.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.